So, dear kids, in the last lecture, we took one of the very basic portion about the SS and we started the first lesson. Okay, the chapter was related with the natural heritage, and furthermore, the heritage went into the cultural form also. So, if we go more further about the textual reading of lesson, we need to understand that the lesson was divided somehow into basic several parts. In the previous lecture, I also made you to see the screening on which you might have seen that how to get a proper example after reading the lines. Therefore, the today's lecture is all about the face-to-face lecture. In this, I'll be clearing you the basic doubts of SS syllabus, SS portion, okay, and I'll also give you the basic examples related to this. So last time we discussed about that nature is related with the two basic things, okay, one is human and one is nature itself. In that case of theory, the nature, when it is moving to the extensive level, advanced level, we are the basic primitive thing which we need to support them. And in this case of theory, if we are not gonna help them out, it will be a very dangerous thing to survive with the nature. Therefore, I can say that the topic which we took yesterday was vegetation, and in this vegetational purpose we talk about allopathy and many more things also. And we also talk about the Vedas, that is Ayurveda and many more Vedas here. Okay, so in this meanwhile, now I'm having the textbook in front of the screening textbook in front of me, and I'll read it out and you have to understand also what I'm reading you, and furthermore I'll explain you also in that case. So now the basic thing which I'm reading today is the vegetation. Okay, the vegetation, yani ki the people of India, of the environment, or we can say they are the environment lovers since the ancient time, which is it's proof that it is their love affection towards the mother nature. Therefore, human, animal, bird, and also they all are dependent on the each other, trees, fruits, farm, agriculture, and many more things. Okay, thus we can say that medicinal crops also we need to buy from the stores. But where does this medicinal things are coming? Medicinal things are coming actually from the area which can be related with the nature, the herbs area. We have the Himalayan boundaries. What are they before? What are they in front of us? They are actually in front of us like a form of the treasure. So therefore we need to protect the nature. If you go more further, cereal, pulses, oil, seeds, and many more things are described here. Herde, amla, baheda, aloe veras, ardusis, and neem extra plants are there. Now what are they? According to me, if you are going to ask me, sir, what are they? I would easily say that they are the basic life supporting agents. Now why we can say life supporting is it? Because if you talk about the pollution of the air, if you talk about the bacteria in the air, they might be known about the harmful substance of the nature or the harmful part of the nature, but simultaneously if you have the trees like neem trees, okay, if you have the trees like other byproducts of the neem, we are gonna, or we can say that we are having a good and healthy environment, because it is actually clean, it is actually killing the whole bacterial infection also, whole bacterial environment also, and it is hence reproducing the fresh air. So that is very good thing here. I'll read further here. You need to focus on the page number, that is, I have said you the starting page, the second page is there, and the point which I'm reading, that is the third point, that is the vegetation. Okay, now if you go more further, plants have ultra enriched source of life, of course, and in that case some flowers are also adding the fragrance there. Now which are the flowers they are adding the fragrance? The flowers which are adding the fragrance is related with the mogra, it can be the ardosh, it can be the rose plant itself when it is giving the fragrance, okay, and damaros and all, many more plants, sunflowers, champas and all are there. So therefore we can say that these are the basic things which are actually helping us to survive, okay, healthy lifestyle. Like we can say that in the fragrance we use the flowers. Likewise, if I go more further, we use the flowers in the form of scent also, then we use in the perfumes also. So these are the basic things here. Now if you go more further, it has also made human lifestyle very beautiful, fragmentful, and also healthy and prosperous. Of course, the third para says that about the vegetation, that the third point, that it has made the life very, very fragranceful. Okay, so therefore the beautiful, fragrant, healthy, prosperous life is leading with a good ability of the acquiring all the deeds of the human beings, because we are less infected, we are having a fragrance-full environment, we are having medicinal therapies, herbs and all, we are having allopathies, we are having aloe vera plants, and we are having like ayurvedas and many more things we are having. So in this case we can say that we need to understand how and in which condition we are able to support the nature, we are able to work with the nature. Okay, so that is the basic thing here. Okay, let's get further. So now I'm having the wildlife. Now you might have seen the wildlife. Wildlife itself sounds like Serengeti, Savannah and many more things. Okay, Serengeti and Savannah means it is the area or Kalahari desert or area also of the South Africa, okay, eastern part of the Africa, which is actually compared with the good vegetative area. And as you heard about the Himalayas also in the India, same as the Kilimanjaros are there. It is very good place, especially for the animals who are surviving there. So I'll read out some of the paragraph here. India is a nature lover. Do you think that India is a nature lover? I am the nature lover. But if you are actually the nature lover, of course you can say that, yeah, you are, I am also the nature lover. From your side, you can use I. And from my side, I can use you are the nature lover. So in that case, we can say, obviously we need to go to save the nature. Now, what are the basic primitive thing which we need to understand to save the nature? The basic and primitive thing which we need to save the nature is that if we can't give anything to nature, we can't take it also. This is the basic primitive thing which we need to understand. The people without giving anything, they just take from the nature. That is the wrong thing. So it is a country with the animal lover culture: tiger, lion, elephant, rhino, foxes, bear, okay, deer, sambar, then rabbit, python, snake, mongoose, lizard, porcupine and many more things also. You might have seen the porcupine. They are coming in the field. They're having the long thorns over their body, long thorns, okay, and that thorn can be hitting anyone like a spike thorn, and it can be injuring any of the creature. That is actually its a shell to protect itself. But sometimes humans are also endangered by these kinds of thorns. Okay, and I'll also give you an extra example of that. In the ancient time, what happened? You know that in the ancient time, the people used to write messages with the thorns of this porcupine. So these are the rare species of the animal. We need to protect it out. Getting further, now if you talk about the, somehow we are living in the western part of the India. Okay, let's move to the eastern part where the Assam and West Bengal is there. If you talk about the Assam, rhino is there available. Okay, one horn rhino, which is world famous. Kaziranga is the national forest park there. And if you go more deeply about the Gujarat, Asian lions are here. Do you know that in the whole of Asia, Gujarat Gir forest is only one of the place where natural lion inhabitants can be found. I mean natural means the lions have been growing here since ages and ages, and now also we are keeping in the protection. While compared with the other places, we need to import the breed of lion and then we are actually improving their breed. So it is not natural, it is somehow man inhabited. It is held by the man. So therefore, if you go more in the detail of the lesson here, chapter number 1, the Asian lions of the world are famous in the Gir forest of the Gujarat. A religious belief has been given a status of god and goddesses, also vehicles to some of the wild animals: tigers, peacock, alligators, eagles and etc. So now you might be also loving or worshipping any of the god or many of the god. In that condition, we can say that when you are actually wishing to worship that god, what do you find? You know, you find a connection between you and him, you and that god. So what you see, especially in that god, all the gods are different from each other. Why? There is a theory about that. Okay, like we all are having vehicles. From the Purans and all, the god were also given the vehicles according to the mythology, yani ki vahanas. So therefore, like the goddess Durga is having the tiger, lion sometime, okay, as a vehicle. And we can say that Garud is also there, the vehicle. Many more gods are having the vehicles. Okay, so these are also compared in the Indian civilization. If you talk about the 5,000 old Indian civilization, this has been taken as a god vehicle, the god's vehicle. So therefore, our religious beliefs is extraordinary compared with the Maya civilization, compared with the Mesopotamian civilization, compared with the Egyptian civilization, Mongolian, Chinese civilization, and compared to the European civilization also. Though we have 32.33 or something crores of the Devis and Devatas, then also what we are wishing, we are wishing to live in a peaceful and harmony with the nature. That is Sat Chit and Anand. Okay, as well I also described you in the earlier lecture that we are the people from the state of a democracy, where we can say that the philosophers took birth here. Not only the philosophers, the philosophical world started to go on with that. Why? Because we can understand that India is the place where Kabir Das was there, Rahim was there, okay, Kali Das was there. So therefore we are having a influencing culture, the culture which is influencing betterly. Okay, let's move further here. So as the religion has believed all the animals and the birds as the contemporary, we can say that, vehicle of the god, as per mythology, our national currency is highly valued by having this kinds of status figures also on the notes and currencies bill also. So if you go more further in the detail, if you talk about cultural heritage of India, India has gifted to the world a diversified culture. Yes, of course. Now people are coming to learn our culture. Can you imagine? People are coming to learn our culture. People are coming to taste our food. Why? Because we are having a plenty of varieties in that. Not only plenty of varieties, we are having plenty of varietyful things into the pro level. So that is the thing which is actually welcoming the other nation. That is the thing which is actually not only welcoming, that is the only thing which is actually asking the people to come India. Attracting, this word will be special for that, attracting the other people to come to India here. So whatever is received of the created by human being, which is acted from the ancient time from the India, wisdom, it may be art, skill, called the culture of India. Now let's talk about the wisdom, the people who gave the good wisdomic thoughts like Bhagavad Gita and Ramayana. In that the literature is derived in such a way that you can easily understand how nicely, how gracefully the human life is actually related with that. And in that same condition, if you lose something, you don't have regret. If you gain something, you don't have attitude. That is our culture teaches you. If you lose something, don't cry for that. If you get something, don't have attitude about that. Okay, so be humble, live simple, and be helpful to everybody. This is our culture. As I am reading in the lesson, you can be also focusing in your textbook, because I am referring your textbook. Okay, so you can focus on the textbook here. Now we need to protect it. If this much beautiful environment is given by the nature, we need to protect it very, very well. We need to protect the culture also very, very well. So if you go more further, whatever is received by our created, okay, human beings, with his art, with his act, wisdom, and many more skills and culture, starting from the Aryans, from the Kshatriyas, okay, Kashtrap, or we can say starting from the Aryans, Kushans, or Hunas, then Persians, Turkeys, Arab, Mughals, British, and many more things, also French also, etc. So we can say that caste and tribes have been came India, and Indian culture has been extended between this become to be a rich variety of the heritage here. Caste has been also going there, class has been also going there, Mongolians have been also tasted the food of India and the lifestyle of India, as well as French also. You might have known about that in the 1853, 57, 40, then till the age of 1947, British, French and other colonies were influenced in this area, and what they were doing, they were asking for the betterment of their own well-beings, and they looted also. Now there is a question, can you imagine why they came to India? What was the reason behind that? And the answer is very simple, that they came here just to occupy their well-beings, just to occupy their benefits. On the name of Indian benefitable thing, on the name of Indian workers, they will buy or they will get all the beneficial byproducts, products and many more things for the British country. So that is why India was also called as a golden bird of the world. Okay, so moving further, the people of India from the prehistoric. Now if I am talking about the prehistoric, you need to understand what is the prehistoric. One was history and one was more. It means that the starting phase of the history. Okay, the prehistoric means the starting phases of history was somehow leading with some of the development. Now what was that? I'll tell you out. The history period have been contributed people of India. The art, architecture, sculpture, which is 5,000-year-old, as I said, you my dear kids, that is 5,000-year-old remains of Indus Valley civilization. The civilization which has been going more than its variety right now from the ancient time. Indus Valley civilization, yani the civilization which was flourished along with the river, near the river and with the river. Therefore today we wish the river as the Lokmata also. In this case of theory, the civilization evidences many more things, okay, and on seeing the many more peeing of the remains of figures of god and goddesses, the goddesses, human, animal, several toys, and the sculpture of the beard man, also culture shows that how in the ancient time, in which condition in the ancient time people used to survive with their culture and also to survive with their mythology. Say one thing we need to understand, if a bird is flying, it needs to get a support from the land. If the human is flying, human need to get support from the culture. The culture is the only basic thing which is teaching us. In that case, the culture is teaching us how to survive. Though we are going to make a very big name in the world, though India is going to stand on the very good level of the world, but what is India actually known for? The India is actually known for its culture, belief, respect, aspect, and many more development which was taken on the major level as well as the contemporary development also. So from the invention of lotus, from the invention of bullock cart, from the we can say that Mauryan era, any of the diagrammatic thing from the Gautam Buddha's lifestyle also, a meditative form of Kalakhand statue can be also seen at the Jain Tirthankars. Now what is Jain Tirthankars? It is the place where Jain people go and get their salvation after worshipping their Lord or the god. So therefore we can say that as you have also known about the Gautam Buddha. Now who was Gautam Buddha? Gautam Buddha was a person related with a very high luxurious society kingdom. But what he did, he actually left everything. Not only he left everything, he also made the world to get a message that living in a simplicity, living in a very common life, but nature with the helping is the basic thing which we need to learn out. Because when we die, our karmas are going, not our money is going, not our wealth is going, not our beauty is going. So that is the thing which I am teaching you here from the small basic part of the Gautam Buddha. Okay, so you need to understand also. Let's take it more further here. Now the caves of Elephanta as well as the caves of Ellora caves, from the Ellora caves of the Rashtrakuta dynasty, etc. By seeing this heritage we feel proud, glad, and also respect our cultural heritage. Today when foreigners are coming, today when we are going to visit, we are saying that yes, our culture has bestowed us with a great influencing thing which is getting an influence not only to us but to the people of India. And not only to the people of India, it is going at the international level. Therefore the people come to India, they live in India, they survive with our cultural heritage, many more things. They taste our food also, they worship our temples also, they go for the Ellora caves also, they read the Rashtrakuta dynasties also, they also get education here, they work in the Ayurvedic system, they learn almost everything here. Why? Because our culture is actually different from them. Our culture is somehow loaded with the variety of the things which can be helping the world to know the basic truth of life and death. So our culture, heritage accommodate places and buildings also. The first thing I would like to share with you is the Mohenjo-daro, Lothal, Dholavira. Okay, if you talk about the sculptures or the big architectural development like Sanchi stupas, okay, or we can say the Sarnath pillar, many more things are there. So in this case we can understand that our cultural heritage accommodates places, buildings, and many more things, where even historical places of our freedom moment like Sabarmati Ashram. Now you might have seen the Sabarmati Ashram. It is situated in the Ahmedabad near the riverfront, Sabarmati riverfront. Okay, near the Sabarmati river. That was gifted, or we can say that was occupied by. That was actually you can see that it was actually used as a house living place, as a dwelling place by our respected Mahatma Gandhi, who is now also called as Bapuji. So in this case, this also right now as a tourism place, but whenever you are going there, you can find many more things related with that. You can find many more things of Mahatma Gandhi which will give you an inspiration that how living simple, thinking high can be leading the nation, and there is no need of violence. We can be going through the non-violence, peaceful, and we can have our boundaries secured. So therefore this is also one of the thing, and beside this we can talk about the some basic topics about the Gujarat also. Let me read out here. Even today of the historical places, freedom fighters like somehow Sabarmati Ashram, Dandi March was there, Bardoli is the place where Satyagraha was somehow about to carried out, and one of the best person was about to meet to the Mahatma Gandhi, and then he met and he made whole of the Bharat Akhand Bharat, yani ki he was none other than Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, as you know that. So laterly, Bardoli, then Wardha, Shantiniketan in Kolkata. As we know that Rabindranath Tagore established the Shantiniketan Vidyalaya as the institute in the Kolkata, where you can easily go and learn some of the basic facts. Not only the basic facts, you can also go and get your inner peace, because the educative system which they are running actually right now there is not a simple educative system like we are running somehow in the basic days. It is on the pro level. So we can understand that the language, script and culture is also one of the thing here which we need to understand. So let's get more further. It can also be considered as a part of our cultural heritage. Beside language, script, discovery of 0, 1 to 9, okay, they founded, I'm talking about the other people, they founded 1 to 9. What about the other numbers? What about the numerical theories? So there was a need of 0, there was a need of decimal, and that everything was given by the India. Hence we also improved the value chart. From the 9 we went to 10, and then further repetition started here. 1 1, that is 11, 1 2, that is 12, 13, as you know everything, hai na? And we went for the so on. So this is the basic thing which you need to understand. Now the calendar, astronomy, astrology, mathematics and iron, literature or the theory of metallurgy, okay, religious, then Vedas and all, Yuddha Shastras, chariot, yani ki Rath and all, everything we described. Political science also, how to deal with Ashwaved, how to deal with this surgery of science and all, and many more things. Okay, we started here to learn. So that is the basic thing which I am teaching you about the religious, cultural heritage development and the gift given by the ancient people, which were also known as our forefathers. And judiciary is also main part of our Indian custom. Why? Because when there is illegal thing is going on, or when there is anyone hurted in front of law with some of the people, group of people, or some of the laws where their actual human right is violated, there we need to take the judiciary. Therefore we are having judiciary empowerment, and judiciary which we are running is fearless judiciary, which is not coming into fear, in the pressure or in any kind of the partiality. It is non-partial judiciary. So we are having judiciary also, and environmental protection is the basic thing which I am teaching you, or which we need to keep the theme of the story behind this lecture. Environmental protection. We need to protect the environment, and these are the important discoveries of India. See kids, one thing which I am telling you is that whenever we are thinking that why our people gave the name of father to the trees, mountains and the trees as a sages, हम बोलते हैं ना, पेड़ यानी कि एक साधु होता है, संत जैसा है, पहाड़ यानी कि एक पिता जैसा होता है, and माता means the नदी, यानी कि we compared river as the mother. There is only one concept theory behind that. There is only one concept theory. What is that? That theory is that if you are accepting this thing as your father, mother, saint, friends and families, obviously as you don't hurt your parents, you are not gonna hurt this thing also, and you'll protect it further. So this lecture is all about how, when, why, in which variety our culture developed, Indian custom developed. Okay, and once again I'm repeating that we are reading the lesson number 1st of the SS textbook. Okay, that is the heritage related to the cultural heritage of India. Okay, so this is very good example of the heritage of India. In the other part, I'll be also carrying the basic thoughts, examples and basic theory of this lesson. Okay, so till then you can wait for the third part of this lecture. Okay, thank you, take care.